Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever been part of a digital community, a forum, a group chat, some collaborative space that just slowly started to drain your energy instead of fueling it? Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating open letter from a developer who goes by pp4mnk. It's this public declaration about walking away from a major open source hub, specifically the PuppyLinux forum. But as you'll see, this isn't just about computer code. It's honestly a masterclass in setting boundaries, demanding basic respect, and ultimately taking control of your own digital environment. Take a listen to this. Sometimes the best response to negativity is not more noise. Sometimes the best answer is simply to build your own space. That quote, that is the emotional and philosophical core of the document we're looking at today. In an internet era where our default reaction to conflict is usually to just, shout louder or fire back an angry reply, pp4mnk makes this really profound choice. They literally choose to step away, choosing creation over confrontation. Section 1. The difficult departure. Look, stepping away from a community you've been deeply invested in, that is never an easy choice. And this brilliantly illustrates the gravity of the situation because this wasn't just some casual user logging off. This was a core technical contributor officially stopping all publishing on the PuppyLinux forum. When a dedicated developer walks away, they take their expertise, their time, and their passion right out the door with them. The author states right at the top that this decision was born out of recent experiences and was absolutely not taken lightly. To really grasp the scale of this departure, we've got to look at how it was broadcast. The author actually published this manifesto globally. The document we're analyzing isn't just in English, it was meticulously translated into Spanish, German, and French. By broadcasting this single forum post across multiple languages, pp4mnk made sure the entire international open source community understood exactly why they were leaving. This wasn't some quiet exit out the back door. It was a universal message about community standards. Section 2. The open source ideal. So, according to the source text, for years, Linux communities, especially those smaller, really technically passionate ones, represented something incredibly valuable to pp4mnk. The author outlined 4 pillars of this ideal vision: collaboration, curiosity, experimentation, and mutual respect. They envisioned a place where ideas could be constructively challenged, benchmarks discussed objectively, and technical findings shared freely so everyone benefits. This is the absolute gold standard of what an open source community is actually supposed to be. Section 3. When moderation fails. Let's move to and see how this builds into a real conflict. There's just this stark contrast between that ideal and the painful reality pp4mnk experienced. On one side, we've got the foundation of a healthy open source community: respect, constructive criticism, technical rigor, freedom of thought. But on the flip side, the moderation became unnecessarily hostile, dismissive, aggressive, and seemingly driven by personal ego. And when that happens, technical contribution just stops being enjoyable. It simply turns into this exhausting exercise of trying to avoid unnecessary confrontation. Now, it's absolutely crucial to point out that pp4mnk is not against debate. Notice the rapid-fire repetition from the text here. Disagreement is healthy. Criticism is healthy. Different opinions are healthy. The author fully embraces the friction of technical debate. Because let's face it, debate is how software gets better. The core thesis here is that pushing back on an idea is totally fine, but attacking the person? No way. But respect should never disappear. This is the ultimate breaking point. You can disagree on code, sure. You can debate over system resources all day. But the very moment basic human respect vanishes, the community loses its value. After all, why waste your energy somewhere it's no longer welcome? Section 4. The technical horizon. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer depth of the technical topics pp4mnk is taking elsewhere. We're talking about deep dive EasyOS findings, complex RAM-first workflows, intricate browser optimization, and high-level performance tuning. These aren't just casual water cooler topics, right? These are rigorous technical analyses that directly improve the software. By failing to maintain a respectful environment, the forum has essentially lost a wealth of objective technical data. Just to give you an idea, one of the key technical topics moving off forum is RAM-first workflows. If you're not super familiar, running your entire OS and all your processes straight from memory requires immense technical tuning, but it results in literally blistering speeds. It's a real game changer. But this is exactly the caliber of high-level experimentation that absolutely requires a focused, supportive space. Section 5. Building your own space. So what do? They build their own. The author states really clearly that from now on, all of their energy is going to be focused exclusively on their own platforms. Specifically, they're inviting anyone genuinely interested in alternative technical approaches, Linux optimization, or EasyOS to join them over at easyosinstall.wordpress.com. It's a direct invitation to the silent majority of users out there who just want to learn and share without all the drama. But here's the thing, pp4mn isn't entirely turning their back on the community's questions. They note that if a really interesting topic or question pops up back on the old forum, they'll still answer it, but only from the safety of their new platform. It's a stark contrast, right? Leaving the noise and frustration of the forum behind in favor of a calmer environment where the technical depth of the topics can actually be respected. Honestly, it's a brilliant way to keep serving the community while protecting your own peace of mind. Which brings us to a really pivotal question, one that applies to open source software, to social media, and honestly, just to life in general. When you're faced with hostility, ego, and disrespect in a place you once loved, what is the absolute best response to that negativity? So the crucial point is this: build your own space. You don't have to stay and argue. You don't have to engage in endless, unproductive confrontations. You have the power to take your expertise, your curiosity, and your respect and go create a new environment where those traits are actually celebrated. It is, for sure, the ultimate act of independence in the digital age. I really want to leave you with this final thought to reflect on today. Take a look at the communities you participate in online. If your digital community lost its respect, if the moderation became hostile, and the joy of contributing just vanished, would you stay and fight a losing battle? Or would you, like pp4mnk, take your talents and build your own space? It's a powerful question about how we value our own time and energy. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope it gave you a fresh perspective on the digital spaces you inhabit.